Hello, my name is Dr. David Plerday. I'm a nutrition scientist and exercise scientist, and I'm the founder of the Plerday Institute, a world leader in science-based weight loss. And today I have a special guest and friend, Mia Schultz. Mia, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
What a pleasure. And might I say, you look great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So audience, I want to share a little bit about and brag about Mia. She's been a professional in the mortgage industry for what, 17 years?
Yes.
And you've helped thousands of men and women buy homes, refinance their houses, and just help people kind of get out of debt and help them with their finances, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you've been married to Mike, happily married for how long?
For 25 years.
25 years, congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
have 3 awesome kids, Shayna,
Yes.
Jack, and Kira.
Yes.
And in fact, you had a huge celebration last night for graduation, right?
We did. We did.
So that's awesome.
It turned out wonderful.
So audience, you know this, the hero of the story is not Dr. Plerday. The hero of our story is, in this case, Mia. Mia, you've been succeeding.
Yes.
You've been winning in every area of your life, professionally, personally, financially. But there's been one area of your life that was painful, right?
Very true.
You were overweight. You and I met 6 months ago. You had been referred to me by a dear friend of ours,
Right.
Chuck Miller, who is an incredible inspiration for all of us. He, at nearly 60 years old, lost over 70% of his body fat. He himself had some major health problems with fatty liver, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and some other issues, all of which went away. Well, let's pivot and talk about you. From 6 months ago, I did a half-day science-based weight loss assessment, and we placed you in our lab, an instrument called the BOD Pod.
Right.
And it's the most accurate instrument in the world for differentiating fat and lean tissue. And we learned 6 months ago, you weighed almost 180 pounds, 176.6. Your body fat was 84.4 pounds, and you had 92 pounds of lean tissue.
Right.
Today, 6 months later, you have 42 pounds less fat. It's exactly half of your body fat. Since we met 6 months ago, you've lost just under 9 of these.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
What a shocker, because you looked good when you came in. And today it's so positively shocking.
This is such a big difference to walk around without.
50% body fat weight loss. I'd like to cue up your pictures from the first day.
Sure.
We're going to look at the full front shot. On the left, we see where you were 6 months ago. On the right, we see where you are today. What do you notice?
Oh my gosh. Huge difference. Huge difference. Just, I didn't realize how puffy I was by comparison now. I mean, it actually looked like I was swollen or, just puffy. And by comparison, there's just so much more definition. I have a little chin back, and it's just, you can see it. I mean, the pictures
Incredible.
say 1,000 words.
Let's pick up the side upper body shot, and what do you notice there when you look at the side view?
When I took these pictures, I tried to be as natural as possible and, not stick my stomach out, not suck it in, not do anything. And when you see them side by side, it's just amazing because, my side was protruding, my stomach was out, and, now I'm almost to that flatness that we're looking at.
I mean, when you think about it, when was the last time you were this fit?
I don't think I've ever been this healthy in combination with, with the weight loss. I don't think I've ever been this healthy, but.
Well, let's just pause. You've never been this healthy. There have been times when you might have weighed this, but how many years ago was that, by the way?
Oh gosh, I was in my early 20s.
You are at a body composition that's more fit than when you were in your early 20s. How does that make you feel?
Oh my God, incredible. Incredible. I feel like I'm 20 again, maybe 30, but.
It's truly inspiring, Mia. Let's take a look at the face shot real quick. What do you notice about the contrast?
I think it's great, and my face looks small. Like I didn't, even, when you lose that kind of fat,
Right.
you don't realize that it actually, like, it's not just, it enlarges your face. So, just more definition. I look calmer. It's just a softer look.
There's been an incredibly, an amazing anti-aging effect here.
That's absolutely
It's sort of like
true.
the older sister on the left, the younger sister on the right.
Yeah.
The definition of your facial features takes you back to when you were in your 20s. Truly an amazing accomplishment.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. I'd like to turn the conversation to a subject that isn't necessarily fun. I'd like to talk about the pain that you felt before we started, the psychological pain, the emotional pain. How is this subject getting in the way in your life for you?
I think I've always had a weight problem my whole life. And you start to just get used to the uncomfortableness and the guilt of eating and the, everything that surrounds it and the excuses that you make. And, I've dipped a couple of times in my life, but mostly, it was mostly an upward trend. And, like we talked, I had a lot of things going for me. I have a million blessings. I have a beautiful family, wonderful children, a beautiful husband. I don't have a lot to complain about in my life. So the outside world was wonderful and happy, but inside it's always that battle. Every meal, it's always that battle. Every party, everything, because you just get into a routine of being okay with eating more than you should, feeling full all the time, and it was sad. It was the one thing in my life that I felt that I fail in, or that I didn't have control in, and that's just, when it's personal like that, it just holds you down, and you think about that all the time, even if it's just in the back of your mind. Every morning when you get dressed and you put on the clothes, thinking, I thought I looked better than I really do, and it's just something you battle with a lot. And people who have dealt with being overweight for so long, it is, I don't want to say a comfort zone, but you just get used to it and stay sad. There's that inner sadness that you have that you can't get to where you want to be. Yeah.
So let me just repeat back to you what I hear. This was a preoccupying source of pain.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you were having so much success, it was a constant reminder of a sense of failure. I just want to pause for a moment and say I really appreciate your willingness to be so open about the struggle you were having, because I think a lot of people who've known you for years probably never quite realized the pain you were feeling.
Right. It's
Yeah.
all internal. It's you don't share that. It's not like it. You put on your work face, you put on your play face, and you go out and you enjoy your life and you do all that. But it's always there.
Yeah. Right. So let's turn the conversation. Let's talk about some of the learning points that we've journeyed through. One of the things that we learned early on in our process was that there was a problem you couldn't detect in your fat cells.
Right.
It's a suppression of an enzyme that regulates your individual fat cells. And I actually showed that to you in the laboratory. And I was bold enough to tell you that it was going to take me how long to reverse this enzyme suppression?
3 days.
3 days. And what happened?
It did.
It happened, right? When the fat cells are in suppression, what that means is that the fat cells are incapable of degrading what are called triglycerides. And when we can't break that storage fat, we can't mobilize fatty acids. And when the fat cells don't release fatty acids, they're not available for a source of fuel. And what we learned is fat cells are dynamic. So if your fat cells aren't getting smaller, they're getting larger. And then I instituted a regimen, right? A level of specificity for you and what you were eating.
Correct.
I taught you about chemistry, things you couldn't smell, taste, or detect, and everything, your foods and your fluids, every product, every pill. And after we instituted those changes, you came back and we saw what happened to those fat cells.
They broke loose.
They reversed that suppression, And yes, they were in a constant state of breaking the triglyceride, mobilizing the fatty acids. And since that time, 6 months ago, your fat cells and your body fat have gotten smaller every day, every week, and every month in a mathematically linear fashion. I'd like to cue up the spreadsheet that depicts the body composition testing.
Right.
What we're looking at right now, audience, is that in January, Mia weighed 176, almost 177, with 84 pounds of fat. And you walked in at 81.5. And in the first month, you lost almost 12 pounds of fat, 14%. In the second month, you lost 13 pounds of fat, which was almost 19%. And then you lost 10% of your fat. You lost almost 6 pounds, and then 3 pounds. But today, your body fat is down a total of another 5, call it 6 pounds. So you've lost 42 pounds of fat almost at a mathematically linear rate in 6 months. And it's incredible. Not only did you lose 42 pounds of fat, but you gained approximately 4 pounds of muscle. An amazing accomplishment. Let's talk about exercise science. Now, we all come to the table at Plur Day with our own ideas, perceptions, and beliefs about exercise. But I prescribed exercise for you in a laboratory setting where we isolated the muscle fibers and their fuel utilization, maximizing the utilization of fat while sparing the sugar. And this is what we call metabolically controlled exercise. And as a result of that, how did this affect hunger? Because prior you'd had cravings for sugar, you'd over-exercised, and now with this metabolism controlled exercise, how has it been different, especially with hunger?
I realized I'm not as hungry. I'm not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never really hungry. I mean, obviously I eat my meals a day, but I'm not picking anymore, and it works. The combination of the food and the exercise is working.
Right. Has the exercise been hard?
No.
Has it been burdensome?
No.
Have you had any overuse injuries or
No.
stiffness because of the exercise?
No.
It's been easy, right?
Yes.
Incredible. One of the other big pieces to this puzzle is that you've been held accountable every day by a doctor, in this case me.
Yes,
and
I
we've
have.
had this constant conversation, not as a dictatorial conversation, but as a come alongside and encourage. What's it been like having a doctor walk with you on this journey?
I personally love the idea that I have to check in, and or that you check in with me, because I can't avoid the phone calls, I can't avoid the texts, things like that. The accountability is a huge help, because when you're trying to do something like this on your very own, you're only responding to yourself. You're only, and you can make excuses all the time. So to have those check-ins and those bursts of encouragement, and knowing that I'm going to have to talk to you and tell you what I've done, certainly helps me stay on track. Because I can't stand to have a call with you guys and say, yeah, I didn't, I didn't succeed, or I didn't do this. So it's very important to me to make sure that each time I'm here and each time that I'm talking to you, that we have some progress, that we did something good, because I need that pat on the back and to know that we're moving forward. So it's super helpful.
So glad.
Yeah.
So glad. One of the great things, a lot of people tell us, having a chef on our team, Chef Alex Kratville.
Yep.
He's one of our most skilled chefs that we've ever had. What's it been like having a chef that can support you on the culinary side to make this science-based regimen really tasty? How's that been for you in terms of your experience?
Well, I think going into a diet plan, that's the first thing you're worried about is, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have anything I like. I'm going to, everything's going to be boring and bland, and my life is over in the food world. And with your chef and the meals that they had put together, They're wonderful. They're very, very good. And they're tasty, and they have the right ingredients. And I've learned so much about ingredients just by, the foods that you guys have offered. They're wonderful.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Let me just say thank you. Your willingness to share and be so open is truly endearing. I know there are a lot of people watching this video right now, and they're absolutely blown away by your progress, but also your willingness to be vulnerable, because I think so many people out there are struggling right now, and they're going to hear your story.
Right.
They're going to hear about the science of the method, and they're going to find a sense of hope. Now that we're thinking about that man or that woman that are watching, what would you say to him or her? Because let's imagine they're exactly where you were 6 months ago. What would you say to him or her to encourage them to pick up the phone and take the first step?
There is so much life left in all of, and anybody that I know, anybody who may be watching this video, it's never too late to start. And you've read the books, everybody's read the books, they've tried the diets, they've done all these different things. And to come and talk to you and learn about what you offer and the way that you go about this method of losing weight is absolutely worth the phone call to come in, sit down and hear something different, to feel something different, to have somebody that's on your team that is going to help you move forward. I think everybody should give you a call. Personally, I think there's so many people out there that could just use the hand-holding and the knowledge about the choices and the quantities and the exercise, and it's the whole package. It's not just one. It's not just eating. It's not just calorie counting, and it's the whole package.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very well said.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you, our audience, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope you have found Mia's story to be encouraging. And I'll leave you with this. You don't have to struggle anymore. I want to encourage you to pick up the phone and take the first step. Call 844-756-8733. We'd like to get you on the right road to better health, joy, and self-respect. Thank you so much for watching.